more to lose than Anubis, who have already put on an amazing showing here at CFS 2019. But right now, let's kick this one off. This is the Group A lower bracket final. One team progresses through to the quarters. The other has to hope that they get through with the wild card.
And on to Black Widow as well. It'll be our first time here from the group stages that we're going to see Black Widow. It's such a staple map in Crossfire and one of the best, I think, as well. But we do hear a lot about the Chinese teams when it does come to Black Widow. They're traditionally very solid on this one. So we'll see whether or not that plays into their hands or if Anubis have a little bit up their sleeve.
They also really like to take their time on this map as well. And we can see that Baisha Gaming will start on the attacking side. And we didn't. You know, do you remember the days, Jordan, of just dropping the C4 in the spawn and then wandering around the map for about a minute and a half and then deciding later on which bomb site to go towards?
Yep.
Well, I think we might be in for more of that. So this is definitely one of those maps where also Anubis is going to have to hold on to their composure.
Yep. I really would have liked to have known how Anubis felt about Black Widow because we were at least able to have a chat with them prior to their match on Ankara against All Gamers, and they did say that that was a solid map for them. You know, they were quite comfortable on Ankara, but if they're not comfortable here on Black Widow, you know, that could definitely be a hurdle that they're going to have to overcome.
There's no way. Like you said, Black Widow is one of the staples of Crossfire and one of the better maps that people would probably say they enjoy playing the most. So this is definitely going to be in each of the team's wheelhouse, as we do see now Baisha Gaming making their way up short, held by Snare, who had a fantastic game against.
Just gets the timing wrong on the peek away there, Snare, but as you say, he was very good indeed. Still, it's going to be the end of him and Hassam on the bomb site as Baisha Sharks start to take control of A. Zai will watch the window. Yusuf to perhaps try and challenge here, but this will be a rough one for Anubis in a 3v5. A shot does go a little awry there from TF, which has allowed Snake to cross, but it's still going to be rough for him, and that is a good one indeed. Baisha, they didn't lose a single player in that round, and they're certainly making a bit of noise, letting us know about it.
A few gyros in there. As we see, Baisha now setting up again. Anubis really just collapsed that last round. A bit unfortunate the timing. Snare was holding down short, and the moment that he unscoped, that was the moment that Baisha were able to catch the timing. Again, Snake going to fall early here, and Baisha with a very fast attack up short. Snare missing another crucial shot, but Hassam, the star for Anubis, again just lighting them up.
Yeah, he's definitely doing some pretty good work here, isn't he? Although, still, we have allowed Baisha into the bomb site. What's interesting is that Even is holding down mid, perhaps looking for some rotators coming across. Not that there will be any anymore, because Baisha have been able to get that early rotate. So the question for me is whether or not Even will be able to get anything done from this interesting position.
Well, it's all going to be on Snare here, holding long with the sniper, which is absolutely where you'd want to be. Anubis, the three players coming in through long. Yusuf, oh, the timing is perfect. We'll take down Baby in the back, and it's all on TF. I don't think Even has rotated out through long. I'm not sure Anubis will be ready for this.
Well, there's a smoke there. The bomb defuses on here from Yusuf. He's dropped, and now we have to see the rest of Anubis jumping on that. Even might be able to clutch it out, but won't. There'll be just enough time for the defuse there, and Anubis will pick up the round. Nicely done. They're getting pumped. They're getting keen.
There you go. It's only the second round, and Anubis already on the board with a very convincing retake onto the A site. Great signs here for the Egyptian squad, as we do want to see the underdog story against the Chinese Baisha team. Despite Baisha, obviously, they want to show that they are a decent outfit after having such a poor showing against All Gamers.
I mean, I'd love to see Anubis through to the quarterfinals. I think they have a great story, and how far they're going to be able to push this is really exciting for me to watch. But Baisha
they don't mess around.
Exactly, as you say, they're not messing around. They've pushed straight into the bomb site. Snake here with an opportunity to be the hero for Anubis. He's going to grab one. Snare helps him out as well, which does at least keep it at a 3v3. So Baisha don't get into the bomb site unharassed, and in fact, they're not even into the bomb site yet. Snare's holding down a good angle.
Well, this is where Anubis don't need to over-rotate too far. They need to allow Baisha into that bomb site to at least get the bomb down before they start going in. and use that man advantage of having a player holding
Hassan.
down the bomb.
Look at this. This is a big wrap through the attacking side Spawn, so he might be a real spanner in the works for Baisha. TF is hanging around and waiting for it, but there are 2 players here, and this should be easily tradable for Monkey, and it will be. So now we're into a 2v2. It's the pincer strike from Anubis as they'll make their way into the bomb site, even as of yet has been unspotted. That's a nice start for Baisha, and this should surely now be their round. Exculon finishing off Monkey. Baisha, man, they are making a lot of noise.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go to... It just goes to show, rather, how important this match is to Baisha and how much respect they really give Anubis. That they kind of... Like, you see sometimes the Chinese teams will win a round against one of the foreigners and they just...
They don't care.
They don't care. It's like, yeah, we
shoulder.
expected to win this round. And today is not one of those days. They're definitely showing a lot of respect to Anubis. At the same time, they are trying their best to catch Anubis off guard with these fast attacks.
Yeah, another quick one here from Baisha. Snare's going to be flashed off, so has to wait. And that'll allow Baisha up close, but Snare has so much more work to do here as he's going to spot out Zion. He'll get a double, but even still, the pace is just unmatched right now by Baisha. It's a 2-for-1. Hassan tasked with the clutch. Baisha still yelling and screaming.
I'd have to say this is an expert move by Baisha to have this sort of pace against a team like Anubis, who may be prepared for the slower tactical Chinese pace.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hassan has proven to be an excellent fragger.
Evens maybe a little better.
Yeah, well, of course, they did have the advantage, so I've got a feel for Hassan there, but he does seem to be one of the best players for Anubis. I have seen him time and time again rescue them, and unfortunately not that time. Now, these fast attacks, will they continue from Baisha, and will Anubis be able to adapt in time? You can see Snare throwing the smoke and retreating. Will it be enough? He does manage to get around the corner before Even lands a couple of shots.
Does look like they're going to back away, but in the meanwhile, Anubis doing something a little interesting for themselves with that push down mid from Monkey.
Every single one of these kills, Jordan, is an instant headshot for Anubis.
They're very clean.
Yep.
Mechanically skilled players, that is for sure, but maybe the mental side does get the better of them. For now, you know, it's not.
It's more the
it's not too
lack
far
of
gone.
experience, isn't it? I wouldn't say the mental side. They have done it all before. They've taken all gamers to OT. They've been 7-1 up against Super Valiant. So there's no mental game here for Anubis. I think this is purely just the occasion and the experience of Crossfire Finals 2019.
Snake's got quite an advanced position on this B side here as well, so should get the early info if Baisha end up pushing in this direction. But for now, it's really a 4-1 split, actually. Anubis have gambled a lot over toward the A side of the map.
Well, that
might work out well for them.
It was almost their undoing in the game against All Gamers. Their gambles didn't pay off a single time, but at the end of the day, they still managed to get it to overtime. And that just was obviously, credit to their retakes onto the bomb sites, which they are very good at.
Might not need a retake here, though, with 3 players, I think even 4 players technically on this site. Baisha are going to find it quite difficult to get on in. Snare was alone in that position last time, but that is not the case anymore. Monkey, they've got absolutely no idea. They're not expecting that next player, and TF is on his own, will be finished off. A double kill for Monkey. That's a good round on the board for Anubis. The gamble stack does pay off this time. Yeah,
this is something that just didn't work for them against All Gamers, but Baisha walked straight into the trap, and what an excellent setup it was from Anubis. You could see every single part had its role to play and its timing, and they just played it to perfection. So good on Anubis there. But also, Baisha, they slowed it down for the first time in a while, and I think that faster pace was definitely what was working for them.
I would have to agree. You can sort of hear still Baisha getting quite loud when they do win those rounds. I suspect there's quite a bit of pressure on Baisha. I mean, they are the CFPL champions for Season 13.
Yeah, they are ranked #1 in the world, aren't they?
Well, in China at least.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, if you rank 1 in China, there's a good chance you might be ranked 1 in the world. But...
Well, Snare has opened up the round. He is such a great sniper. Anubis, they are definitely proving their salt here. As Baisha sneaking up onto Long.
Oh, Snare just gets caught with a flash in his hands, and now that leaves it on Monkey, who dives right out into the crosshair of Baby. Hassan stuck on short here as well, but inevitably will be smoked off. Exculon behind as well. This is a much more methodical, clean round from Baisha. They've got everyone where they need to be. And the trades are just not there for Anubis at all. Hassam now in a 1 versus 3.
Well, you've got to say, when Baby makes 2 entries like that, you're putting a lot of pressure on the rest of the team. Everything will appear to be clean for Baisha.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
So great entries there by Baby, really solidifying this round from the beginning. Yeah, and a bridge too far for Hassam. And again, you can see the Chinese still happy with getting any round on the board. Every single round will help, especially considering how they were swiftly dealt with by all gamers. Oh, an opening kill for Anubis again.
Yeah, even just getting a little bit too keen on long.
Well, kind of his job, and you know, when it works, it works.
Yeah.
But Anubis putting 3 players towards long at the start of the round, that's going to allow them to actually rotate back across toward B, which is where you would imagine the rest of the Baisha players are.
It's definitely good to see Anubis not going down without a fight. You know, they're still throwing punches at Baisha here by pushing long. They're kind of not sitting back passively in their bomb sites and allowing Baisha to dictate it.
You know, I'm seeing that confidence that I want to see next time they have 9 rounds on the board.
It's going to be a bit of a difficult case, perhaps, to get to 9 against Baisha, who is looking good so far in this matchup. Flash out onto the B bomb site. Zai leading the charge here, but a little bit of a crossfire to deal with, although for the moment Snake is smoked off. But that'll be dissipating shortly, so he'll be able to help out Yusuf, who has, I think, they've been spotted behind the crates, as the rest of the Baisha roster does rotate back into mid. So this is more of a fake than anything else on the B site. But Anubis haven't been fooled. They've still got the players over toward A. Hassam watching short. Monkey's watching long. Now the smoke comes out from Baisha. So where do they go from here? Baby has been spotted. Hassam's going to call that for the roster. They'll just give it up. I think this is going to be a retake play from Anubis, and that's not a bad choice. But they have to be aware of XQ in mid. He's holding down the rotates.
Yeah, well, he caught them off guard once before, and I think it might be a case of once bitten, twice shy. This time it is Zai. See what I did there?
Oh no, Yusuf also is going to fall, and this is the worst possible situation for Anubis. They did have a 5v4, but that is slipping away. Monkey will get the trade for Baby, but all things considered, that's not quite enough. Snare on the defuse, you can hear they're shouting and screaming, but they've got the defuse. They've actually won the round, Anubis. And I think actually Baisha was aware of that, but they just couldn't get there in time to stop him.
I could definitely hear the screams from Baisha.
He's on the defuse.
But how do you miss that shot? I have no idea. Monkey coming in as the savior, but again, how do you miss that shot? What an absolute give me.
Yeah, that's not good from Baisha. That's a little bit of a tilter, isn't it?
It is, it is. It'll be interesting to see how loud they get should the result of this round not turn out in their favor. That's a good round for Anubis. I mean, they needed everything they could get after being fought.
But even still,
down.
like, you can't really be relying on rounds like that. When you're up 5v4...
Twice they've gone for the defuse in the middle of a firefight. So, I mean, they definitely got the right idea when it comes to these retakes. They don't try to take any unnecessary fights, and they do put the pressure on Baisha to cover that bomb. I mean, you can get 2 kills in middle all you like, but if you're not watching the bomb, what are you doing?
I don't suspect Baisha's going to fall for those mistakes every single round. Snare here, kind of trying to hold on to the bomb side himself, is going to lose Snake, and we're just not seeing that flashiness from Snare in this game. Perhaps I speak too soon, but he cannot double down. That'll be the end of him, and perhaps the end of Anubis, unless someone else steps up, and this time it's Monkey and Yusuf who gets a double. And that is surely the nail in the coffin for Baisha in this round. XQ has got 2 HP to his name, but he is behind Monkey, who seems to be aware of his position. The grenade is just going to go past XQ, and he won't offer too much resistance. A nice round from Anubis. And
another fantastic round. I mean, the round... Oh, geez, I don't know about that double jointed elbow there, Jordan, catching me off guard. But the thing is, I mean, the rounds that they're winning are very convincing, and it's not like you're seeing Baisha, you know, just get unlucky. They're literally losing the aim duels, and...
Good trade.
You know, Anubis are running at them with full confidence.
Yep, and it's great to see. I mean, Monkey, if he doesn't go and get that trade there, you know, 5v4 for Baisha, they're able to work the map, but he's confident enough to try and take that 1v1 duel. Does it decisively as well, and doesn't really slow things down too much for Anubis. So we're back to a 4v4.
See if we can get a lead for Anubis.
I mean, yeah, a 4v4 is still not ideal, right? But definitely better than a 4v5. And some early aggression into long from Anubis as well does give them the information there. They've set a player up. So they know that at the moment the A side isn't under too much pressure unless it's coming from short. But that's covered off as well.
See, the thing is, you do have Monkey towards long, and I'm just wondering, when does he activate? When does he come through, start pushing behind Baisha?
And it's being watched by Baby. Or by TF, actually, which is even worse because he's got the Orm. So you'd want to see Monkey hold on for the moment.
Well, that really helps. The thing is, with him holding the rear, that really negates the advantage that they have in the player advantage, because then it ends up being a 3-on-2 onto the B side.
True.
And that just helps out the defense in a way. Still not great, but it's not as impossible as a 2-on-4.
Definitely.
Now, Baby in middle, seeing if he can catch anyone on an early rotate. 1 minute left on the clock. Still plenty of time. One of the slower rounds from the Chinese here. Needing to really make sure that they capture these last two.
It's interesting because we've been saying, the Baisha have had a little more success when they've played quickly. And in the last few rounds, they have slowed things down quite significantly. Snare, again, is going to be given the opportunity here to step up on the A bomb side as Baisha just crawl their way in that direction. They're going to go through short.
Well,
but
this
30
is their
seconds
last
on the
chance,
clock.
Jordan.
They have to make something happen here. Snare will just miss that reaction shot and falls to TF as well on the repeat. That's nice from Baisha. Still a little more work to do, though, as the smoke goes down. And the B site, the bomb plant does go down.
On the A side.
Yusuf not able to win the aim duel there against Zai, and that is a very important one. Really opens the door here for Baisha to go up in the first half. This is the last round, and it will indeed go the way of the Chinese squad. 5-4. I'm not sure either team's going to be too pleased with how that half has turned out. I think both could take a look at it and say, you know what, we might have been able to get to 6.
Absolutely.
Nonetheless, 5-4, that sets us up nicely for the second half, I think. Well, a slight advantage for Baisha heading into the second half as they move over onto the defensive side. But Anubis have been looking pretty good, and they are playing for their life right now, so there's a lot to play for. Double sniper to start off there for Anubis as they look for a pick through mid, but they won't find it, and Monkey will trade back for the rifle.
I wonder where the other one went. I wasn't able to catch it, but usually you do see it for a spawn-based play.
Yeah, it was just... Well,
Okay, well that's the C4 dead.
definitely a spanner in the works for Anubis now.
Interesting difference in play styles. Anubis going for a pick, whereas Baisha were able to get into wherever they could before they did a full man execute, leaving a player on the rotate. They'll need to collect that bomb as well. That man advantage for Baisha could end up paying dividends, especially against a star player with Hassam going down.
We're going to see a retake here into the connector. Doesn't even need it.
That's not fortunate for Anubis. That's not how you want to start this half.
Nope. It's really going to put the pressure back on their shoulders. TF gets cleaned up, though, by Snare. That's a good shot.
I mean, what's he doing there? How did he get that opportunity without being traded out? That's going to leave a question for the defense for Baisha.
Need a little bit more success, though, even hiding behind the double doors in mid. Anubis still have the numbers disadvantage, and even should be getting the information here. You can already start to see the rotation floating across for Baisha. So Anubis may be in a spot of bother here unless they get some clean entries. Snake looking for them. Baby, however, is going to shut him down. And there's more opportunities available for Baby here, but he is just going to be the distraction for Zai, who will be swinging out from the site for a double kill.
Very excited. Multiple Gyos.
Dio to the max.
Yep.
We're not there yet. 6-4. Look, they just keep getting excited about every single round, which is, I guess, is a good way to play. But you don't want to sort of peak too early, do you?
No, you might as well bring out the harmonica at that point. I mean, that's a classic move. Anubis peeking long. Not detected. Look at this B aggression coming out from Baisha. They've got full control over the map. Anubis seem to be somewhat aware of it. sitting back waiting, but I wonder if Baisha can make any use of it.
Just imperative for Anubis to make sure they don't lose players early in this round.
I don't know. I think this will catch him off guard.
It's not a bad flash. Does put Zai to white, but even is there as well. And that's a very good crossfire from Baisha. Well executed.
Yep. It's one of those classic Chinese plays as well.
Anubis just looking a little bit weaker here on the attack so far. And it kind of seems to me like Baisha are starting to ramp up, you know. I think they're starting to feel it here.
Yeah, they are a little bit, but at the same time, they're dictating the pace, and that's because Anubis aren't. Anubis got all that information that they were able to get out long, and they didn't really do anything with it. And I mean, that's their own fault. They've got no one else to blame but themselves. They do give up that full B control at the start of the round as well, allowing Baisha to get that information for free. So this round, they have 3 players stacked towards the B dark area. Again, Anubis get long almost for free. You can see Baby just hiding around the corner here. Now, this is one of those fights that Anubis has to take. They can't afford to play scared. And Baby will easily get the 2 because of it. No trade. Creeping through the smoke. Not what you want to see for Anubis. This is definitely where you're going to see the quality, the difference in Baisha.
That's where you're also going to need to see the mental strength from Anubis because, again, you're looking down the barrel of a defeat. You're looking down the barrel potentially of being knocked out of Crossfire Stars. But they still have to keep in their mind the fact that every single one of these rounds is going to be important. Looking at the wild card, they can't afford to be throwing this away. They can't afford to allow this to go to a 10-4. You know, make it a 10-6 or a 10-7 or get as close as possible at least.
They're not really throwing it away at this point yet, but I mean, they are just figuring out each one of Baisha's tricks. Every single round that Baisha has won has been from some sort of defensive trick, whether it be aggressive here or stack there. So it's only a matter of time before Anubis potentially start to adapt. And hopefully this is one of those rounds. They're very fast towards the B site. They're taking a lot of damage from grenades, but they've got the entry.
Need to get the trades though. Zai has been dangerous. And he almost gets 3 there, but it's even. Who will do the real damage. Just Snare left alive. He's in mid. Can creep up behind these players. I was going to say, I don't think they know that he's there, but TF was watching.
TF was at the window just waiting carefully. Now, unfortunately for Anubis, it does look like they're out of tricks as well, as they go fast in towards the B site. Now, everything was looking okay, but they didn't have anyone ready and waiting for that retake.
Yeah, and that is match point up as well for Baisha. So, a little bit sooner than Anubis might have expected.
Might need a host.
We might.
Luckily, they did not rush. As we see Baisha again with that very forward control on short this time. And only the 1 player towards A.
Well, Anubis, you can feel the pressure now for them, can't you?
Certainly can. Again, Baby even working together to put a disruption to all of the plans that Anubis may have, but this time they equalize well.
Zai, however, continues to do the damage, up to 8 kills for this half. 8 and 1, an unstoppable force right now. And for Monkey and Snake, who have not even found a single kill in this half, they're both 0 and 4. Now the weight of the world rests on their shoulders to keep themselves alive in Crossfire Stars. They'll have to win this round.
Well, the B site has been left open for them. Little do they know, though, of course. We can see that on the minimap. And there is 1 player just waiting just outside B window who will be the one that will have to move in once they start hearing the bomb get planted. But look at this quickly on the flank is one of the Baisha players. That plant is deadly in the open for him.
Thanks to Lund, just trying to make a bit of noise to distract them, and it works. Zai will take the peak off that moment, and there goes Monkey as well. That'll be that. Baisha are going to pick up the win, 10-4 over Anubis. It was looking so good in the first half, but then as soon as they move over onto the attack, Anubis fell to bits, and they will potentially be knocked out pending the wildcard.